Hi, this is Joel, and welcome back to the next portion of my road project. You can see how it's coming along here. I have a lot of the hard stuff in, I think, now. Coming up around the corner of this hillside on the edge required quite extensive work. I still need to do a lot of dozer work, though, to smooth it out, because there's lots of, I don't know what you call them, ruffles or something, lots of bumps and humps all along the way. But the dozer is having some rather serious issues, which I'll get into a little bit later in the video. You can see the pathway coming all the way up here now, following the edge of this hillside. You can see by the kind of the spoils, pretty large amount of work. I've made it up to up here where you'll see the excavator, and the issue I'm having here is that there's a big jump of bedrock that comes out of the ground, and I need to build a ramp up to it so cars can drive up. So you see my UTV and excavator, I'm kind of working on piling soil up there to allow for work to be done. And my 5-year-old son there has been trained to drive the excavator, is actually doing the excavating as I fly the drone. He's doing an excellent job. That little guy is very, very smart. And he loves to do it, make a little bit of money. I usually pay him a little bit to keep him excited and motivated. He's very money motivated. But yeah, so we're trying to pile up a large dirt ramp here. You can see how steep that is coming down. Here's another angle at it. I've actually got the road all the way done to the house site I want to get to. That's where I was just above there. And we're coming back towards the excavator from the other side now. So I've got the road roughed in all the way up there. But the dozer has gone down with more issues, which are going to need to be fixed before I can do any more work on this. And I do need to build that ramp there so I can get vehicles up and down. But I'm getting pretty close to being able to bring a well drilling rig up there, which is kind of the next step in my overall project plan here. But yeah, very pretty area, I think, for building a house eventually. And you can see me flying this thing around, and my little 5-year-old guy digging away and piling it up. Okay, so right here I'm filling in, building a ramp, trying to figure out how long the ramp needs to be. And so I check my board, which this is a hair over 5 degrees right now. You can see that Ant concurs, and that's around 10%, a little higher, but the maximum grade I can sustain. And you can see, if you look at this, the angle of the board and where it points, it's basically right at the top of that hill. So I think for me to do this, I'm gonna have to bring this ramp all the way back to where this UTV is. So that's gonna be a challenge, because I probably have a good, 30 yards, 150 feet to go between the top of that hill and back here. A lot of material to fill in. I don't have a lot of material to draw on. Maybe I could try having it a little steeper, but it'll be hard to get big semi trucks, cement trucks up something that's that steep. So I'm gonna have to draw the grade back to here, and then have it ramp up all the way through. A lot of material to move. My son says, let's move quickly, so you can see that I've started to go as fast as I can. He loves this time-lapse mode. If only it was actually this fast. You can see how quickly things go. Takes about, I think this might be like a 30-minute chunk of time where I'm kind of digging stuff out and piling it up there. Okay, got the dozer doing a wheelie. This cylinder leaks a little bit. My fixes up here work though. Got this one. That looks okay. This one is weeping a lot. See, I fixed the leak up here. The cylinder itself is leaking. I could rebuild it or replace it. Looks like the outer seal here is leaking, not the inner seal. The inner seal looks pretty dry. Let's see. Another issue is that this cylinder is pretty worn out. You can see it's leaking from where I'd fixed it before, probably because the threads there on that pipe area are worn out. I'm not really sure what I could do other than welding it directly on there. Here I'm taking the arm cylinder off, pulling the little pins out, and so that I can then try and dismount this thing. One challenge here is that the thing is pretty heavy, so I need to figure out a way to support it. And so that will be what I'm doing here in this next clip. Hold it. And show the wood. Oops. I'll keep this right up on there. Yep, actually, bad. The wood held it. That's good. Can I step back a little bit over here, buddy? What fell? Nothing fell. I said no. Now this one, what are we going to do about this? How do we get this to stay up? Very good. Didn't even leak. Okay. I need to take this thing apart in the shop. Okay. Ooh.
I'm still taking a video of you.
Okay.
Carrying it. Daddy, there's some other things in the camera too.
Okay. Real quick. What is it? Ratty tatty, lefty loosey, buddy?
Ratty tatty, lefty loosey.
Okay.
How is it off and it's not wanting to come?
Well, what do you think?
I don't know.
There's suction in there. There's no way for air to get in, so the oil isn't ready to come out. Now we're gonna get onto this thing real tight. There we go. Some metal bits down in there. We'll have to use cheesecloth to filter this when we're done. Now I bet you oil will come at the bottom. That's my theory. Oil came out this.
What? Did it come out?
There's oil up there. But we still don't have oil coming out the bottom. I wonder why. Let's try something.
Is there a lot of oil in there?
I think so. Look at this. Oh, there it comes.
Lots of oil. Lots of oil. A black bucket.
And if I can push this down, I bet more would go. Oh man. I don't think I can push that. What we'll do is we'll move this over here a little bit. Set it right here. Let it drain out. That'll take a while.
What? Some is spilling on the ground.
Uh-oh. Don't want that. Where's it spilling out of? There we go.
How much oil is in there?
But you gotta hold the camera right so that, and don't drop it in that oil or the camera will be ruined forever. Here, pull back a little bit. Up higher. Yeah, see, that's a better view. Yeah, that's it. Slide over a little bit. Try and catch a little more oil right here. Yeah. How much do you think that oil costs?
A lot of money.
It's expensive.
Why are you draining the bulldozer's stuff?
Well, we're going to try and fix this. We're going to try and fix the leaks that has.
Got a bit of its fluid
They're
on
trying
my
to squish
hands
this out.
too.
Oh, you do? Okay, well,
Yeah.
okay, let me see it again. Wipe your hands on the rag. Use this. Okay, you got it clean? Okay, come over here, hold the video. We're trying to squish all the fluid out.
Do you think it's 48 pounds? Do you think it's 40? Because I weigh 48.
How do I get this thing in there? So stick this between the legs. Right there. Turn those little arms. And we need some of getting onto this a little bit better. How do I get onto this? Actually, if I pull all the way out, will that be above it? Nope. I can pull it up, and then I can put a metal bar across that top, probably. Use that to squish. Okay. Then this little metal bar plate. Something like this will do it. Hey, what are you doing? Why are you rubbing your eyes? Be careful with the camera, we don't want to get damaged. Okay, right there. Is it squishing in? Is the oil coming out?
A little bit. Not. Now it's not.
You see any oil coming?
No.
Not out of either hole?
Yeah, not out of the hole that you unscrewed.
Oh, this is gonna squish down. Oops. It is a dead man.
Daddy, that might be all the oil that you dumped into that bucket.
Problem is, this thing's in the way. Okay. Am I back in the middle of this thing? Ish. See, did you know Daddy, he tried to sit his whole weight on this and it wouldn't go down. But it is going down now. Do you know why?
Because you have a clamp.
Now, you think the clamp, it can do even more than Daddy's whole weight?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Just by turning this. And does it look like Daddy's turning super duper hard?
No.
That's the power of leverage. See this nice lever Daddy has? It helps with leverage. Helps to squish everything down. Pretty crazy.
It's pushing more weight down, more weight than you are.
More weight than I have.
And way more weight than I have.
Way more.
None of it's coming out yet. once again. Sink him down into the oil pan.
Oh, is that all the way down? Why did that come off?
Daddy, maybe the bulldozer has a super fast clamp in it. Probably not. Probably just the power of the bulldozer does it.
That's a good theory, Betty. Bulldozer actually does have sort of a super fast clamp. It's called a pump. And the pump rotates super hard. And that creates enormous pressures. It's kind of a similar principle. Rotation and leverage.
Is that the biggest clamp you have?
Probably. Big clamp.
Or maybe you'll have a bigger one.
Oh, do you see a bigger one?
No, but I'm just saying maybe.
Maybe.
Could have a bigger one, but probably not. That's humongous.
It's pretty humongous. Okay, I think.
Just no more oil. Just
This is as far as this thing will let me go. Oh, did it break? Hope not. Okay. And it's a big clamp. Big clamp away. All right.
where do you put it?
Over here. Long rods right there.
All sorts of.
Step back a little bit. It's easier to see. It's better video if you can actually see what's going on. Oh,
Why does that go on just the bottom?
that's where it goes. Okay, I have this lift cylinder off of a bulldozer. I'd like to replace it. Not sure exactly what'll be best to replace it. Here are some of the measurements from the center. Okay, so we have the cylinder here. You can see that there is like these crossbars that held in the snap ring. And the snap ring is really bulged out down here. You see how it's bulged out like that? That's why it leaks so bad. But I don't really have a good way to get that snap ring out. It doesn't come. And you have to get the snap ring out if you want to be able to pull the piston out, so I'm not really sure what to do. We will see. I'm leaning towards replacing it, considering the level of problems this cylinder has at this point, but I'll sleep on it. Well, so this whole top area where the excavator is, back there all the way over here, is all bedrock. I can't get any soil or rock right there. I need to fill this in coming down. It's very steep, probably like 30 or 30% angle or something like that. But once I fill it in, it's going to fill in probably almost to the UTV to be a reasonable slope to drive on. But I've already kind of mined out a bunch of rock there and a bunch of rock here, and the excavator is really not convenient for picking up a load and then carrying it. I do have a truck I could bring up. I can't get the truck up here, I don't think. I might be able to smooth this out enough to get the truck up. And then I can go up higher and get dirt and truck dirt down here. Talk to my senior geological advisor right here. What do you think, senior advisor? How would you bring dirt in?
I would bring it by, if you wanted a lot, you would bring it by a big dump truck.
Big dump truck.
If you wanted a small load, small dump truck.
Okay. Thank you, Betty. Oh, the show is on. All right, you can watch me come down the excavator. Think I'm gonna make it?
Probably just smooth out all that pile of rocks, then you might make it. Smooth it down the hill to make it like a good place to drive. Good place to drive.
Okay, so I decided to take soil from each side and pile it here in the middle. Now you can see I got a decent little pile leading up, and then there's kind of a little platform, flat area in the middle, and then it'll continue on up. If I get up there in that platform, I probably could pile a bunch more, and then I'll have kind of a better ramp going up, something more drivable, hopefully. Should do pretty good. Okay, so I dug a bunch of material out from here, dirt and some rock up there, piled up here trying to build up where the ramp's gonna go. My plan is to do the same thing on this side, get a lot of material over here, pile it up on this side of the ramp, and then I'll smooth it out and down. I tried driving my UTV up where it is now, where it kind of goes up steep and then a plateau and then steep, and it couldn't do it, although I have a belt problem with it. But tells me I need to make this a significantly shallower angle if I'm going to have vehicles and whatnot going up it. So that's what I'm working on now. I got to get it to 10% ideally, which I think means it's got to be a pretty long ramp, but we'll see. I heard some noise coming from the radiator, and it looks like coolant is boiling out of the cap or something here. Temperature says I don't think this temperature thing works. Had it sitting in my machine for a while. It says 155. Says the engine block is 157. My thermometer gauge said much higher though. The exhaust says 202. I don't think this thing's accurate. don't know why it would be boiling out of that.